First rates coming up, should be 24,300 plus. It is. So around 24,300 is where the Nifty is opening up, about a quarter higher. The Bank Nifty is up about a quarter, that is 52,342. You got the mid-cap index, which is up about 0.6%. And we're at about 56,540. So that's 0.75% higher for the mid-cap index. And the heat map will start to come into view for the Nifty 50 stocks in just a bit. You got 4:1 advances to decline ratio. So 1,240 stocks are higher, and you got about 360 stocks which are starting in the red. 10 stocks on the Nifty in the red. The bulk of it, I mean, actually, most of the other names are in the green as we begin this session. 60 points to begin this Wednesday morning. Should be.
Okay, let's look at the individual movers and shakers. By the way, I think the stock of the morning can very easily be GAIL. The numbers were below estimates, but I think the market's looking ahead at their pipeline expansion. Stock surging away about 6% higher right now. That's probably one of the best reactions we've got from the results perspective. Titan, on the other hand, is struggling. It's down about a percent and a half thereabouts on what has been a rough patch. Titan, in fact, is the poorest performer on the Nifty right now. And some of these metal stocks are cooling off after yesterday's big rally. JSW Steel, Hindalco, Tata Steel, a lot of these names on the downside. The selling continues on the consumer space. Titan is not alone. Look at Trent, Lever, ITC, a lot of these other names on the weak side of the screen as well. So what's bringing up the green end then? It's tech, and more tech. HCL Technologies, Infosys, Wipro, Tech Mahindra. So tech is having a really good morning. Then you have an element of healthcare and pharma. Apollo Hospitals is the best performing stock on the Nifty right now, 2% up. There is some buying in names like NTPC as well. NTPC, ICICI Bank, these are some of the other green parts of the market. In fact, let me complete the picture on banks. The Bank Nifty is doing better than the Nifty right now. ICICI is positive. HDFC Bank, just a 0.25% gain. And Axis is very, very flat. Axis isn't doing anything. SBI is also totally flat. So Bank Nifty, a bit indecisive. But yes, there is buying on the technology side. And there's a little bit of pharma on the top of the screen today.
Well, that's right. This renewable theme, the solar theme, they continue to move with a lot of traction. You have Premier Energies, that's up close to around 2%, putting on weight after the big run we saw yesterday. Vare Energies, that's up another 3%. Remember, yesterday it was bursting in trade. One data point that I picked up is the export of solar modules to the United States from India grew from around 600 crores in 2021. Year to date, it's already more than 10,000 crores. So clearly, that space seems to be picking up steam. And that's reflected in some of these stocks. Vare listed at around 2,400 rupees. It's already at around 3,600. It's a big move out there. Top volume movers. Afcons had a subdued listing. There was a large trade that took place. Stock has recovered. That one, in fact, has moved to the high point of the day on large volumes. MRPL as well is moving very, very well. So both those two, they're the top gainers in today's trading session. Both of them moving up. I think Hindustan Zinc on the downside because the OFS is at a sharp discount in comparison to yesterday's close price. So it's correcting. It's down close to around 7%. Titan as well is pulling back on the back of those numbers. Let's pull up Berger Paints. I think for starters, that number was more or less flattish, I think. Though the numbers appeared disappointing, but I think the stock, Berger Paints, has appeared more or less flattish. So a green start.
There's also Mankind. In terms of positive reactions, Mankind's holding on to a gain of about 4.5%. And by the way, PSUs, watch all the PSUs. Even yesterday, the PSU part of the market was pretty strong. And even this morning, NBCC, Ircon, Railtel. So it seems that, so plenty of green.
It is green, and it is looking pretty well bid right now. And we'll sort of have more on the indices. But 30 points, by the way, is what is left after a pretty strong start early on. But just a few other names, maybe we can. Vari, for example, is another one, right? Vari has yesterday hit 1 lakh crores in market capitalization. It's up 50% in 1 week. It's actually a week old in listed markets. So that's, by the way, with a 4% pop, it's still once again the biggest volume-led gainer. Look at that, 1 million shares traded and 1 lakh crores in market cap. So, I think it's got to be one of the fastest runs to 1 lakh crore market cap out there. GAIL, of course, Sonal is pointing out, and I think both Surabhi and Nigel highlighted that. Premier Energy, that's up about 3%. Again, it's a fairly recent listing. Dixon is up about 3%. CDSL is starting about 3% higher. I think we highlighted Mankind. Keynes is another one which is up about 4% or so. What else? Supreme Industries starting with a 4% pop. many of these stocks have come off quite a bit. I mean, Supreme is a well-owned name. And from highs of about 6,500, stocks at about 4,500 right now, after this 4% pop today. Prestige Estates, Sequent Scientific, and EPAC Durables is up another 3-4%. It's been moving circuit to circuit for the last many trading sessions now out there. So that's the broad picture as we look at things. Metals are, as Nigel also pointed out, broadly down. Nothing major, but Tata Steel, Hindustan Zinc Force, there's the offer for sale. There's Nalco, there is Vedanta, Hindalco. So these are names which are down 1.5% at this point in
just
time.
one more thing. Polycab, I recall, you had quizzed the management as well. Nimesh was telling us they could be winning a large tender. That's come about, just at pre-open. So that stock is up close to around 2%. And I think the management clarified that the margins will be pretty much in line with what they normally get.
So basically, this is for optic fiber.
Yes.
And this is they said they have a small business there. Yeah. And the tenders were worth, they said, 50,000 crores.
Yeah.
And I remember asking them whether they've bid for part of it. They said, no, we bid for the entire 50,000 crores. I don't know, Nigel, if they have given out a number.
4,000.
4,000 crores is what they won.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the order that we're talking about. We should try and have the management join us to talk more about this as we go
4,099, I got it right.
4,100.
Yeah.
Mota. So that is the Polycab optic fiber order, which Nimesh first highlighted on D Street Chatter. This is part of the BharatNet project, which we put out their stock. By the way, from those levels is still substantially higher, mind you. So some of this is in the price in that sense. Well,